Apple quietly unveiled a refresh to their entry-level iPad and iPad Pros. There was no Apple event showing off their new features, but instead just a small press release and an update on their website. So in this video, I'm going to go through everything new about these iPads and see if they're worth picking up. First, let's start off with the iPad Pros. Both the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch iPad Pro were updated, but really the only update was the internals. They now have the new M2 chip inside instead of the M1 chip. No other real difference here. The design, the display, the cameras are all really the same, and really the only difference is the bump in performance thanks to that new M2 chip. These new iPad Pros will have Wi-Fi 6E for faster data speeds and will also be able to capture ProRes video recording up to 4K. You're getting all of this for the same price as last generation's iPad Pro, so really no major upgrades here. Instead, you're getting better performance for really the same price tag as the previous generation, which is still good for those looking to pick up the iPad Pros. But it's definitely not worth upgrading if you had the previous generation iPad Pros. But now let's get into the major new update when it comes to the iPad, which is the entry-level iPad or the regular iPad. It's getting a fresh new design. It now has the new design language as the other iPads, flat sides, smaller bezels, and you could easily mistake this iPad for the iPad Air. It has a 10.9-inch screen just like the iPad Air, and you're also getting new colors with the standard iPad: silver, pink, blue, and yellow. So no black or space gray with this new iPad or the 10th gen iPad, which is kind of a bummer because I usually go with those darker colors on my iPad. The fingerprint sensor will also be located on the power button up top, just like the iPad Air and the iPad Mini. It's going to get the Apple A14 Bionic instead of the previous A13 Bionic, which is a bump up in performance, but it's still not the latest chipset. If you go with the cellular model, it's now 5G compatible, and the back now has an updated 12 megapixel camera, which is the same as the iPad Air and the iPad Mini, and it also has the same selfie camera up front, but it's located in landscape mode instead of portrait mode, which I guess could be better if you're taking video calls on your iPad. One of the biggest changes with the 10th gen iPad is that it now has USB Type-C. That's right, no more Lightning connector on the iPad. You might be happy about that change. I know I am. I want all of Apple's products to go USB Type-C because it's just a better connector. But if you wanted the same connector your iPhone has, you might be a little disappointed with this new iPad. But it's for the best. Now really all of Apple's latest iPads have USB Type-C, which can only mean the iPhone is next. Now one of the disappointing things for me with the all new 10th gen iPad is that it still uses the 1st gen Apple Pencil. Why Apple couldn't make the 2nd gen Apple Pencil compatible with this new iPad, I don't know. But it's frustrating and confusing, at least for me personally, because you're still going to have to charge it in that weird way the 1st gen Apple Pencil charges, and because this iPad has USB Type-C, you're going to need some weird adapter to actually charge that Apple Pencil. I wish Apple would have just given this iPad the 2nd gen Apple Pencil. This new iPad is also compatible with the new Magic Keyboard Folio, which is kind of a mix of the Smart Keyboard and the Magic Keyboard, and that's going to cost $250. The starting storage is the same as previous models, 64 gigabytes of starting storage, which is still way too low in my opinion. Or you have an option of 256 gigabytes, but that's going to cost you some extra money. All of this for a starting price of $449. That's a $120 difference from last generation's iPad, and only $50 cheaper than the iPad Mini. Honestly, I'm kind of torn here because yeah, I love the new design. I'm glad Apple refreshed this iPad and is kind of giving us the same design with all of their iPads now, but the price is still a little too high. I think $399 would have been a perfect starting point. I can argue that the iPad Mini is a better buy. Yes, you have a smaller screen with the iPad Mini, but you have the A15 Bionic instead of the A14 Bionic. You can use the 2nd gen Apple Pencil on the iPad Mini. You have a better and sharper display that's fully laminated and has anti-reflective coating on it. And you get all of this for just $50 more. If you want a larger display, even the iPad Air for $150 more might be worth looking at. And Apple is still selling the 9th gen iPad on their website for $329, which is still the best budget option. So this new iPad kind of sits in a weird place. Is it worth going with this iPad, or should you just pay a little bit more and get much more value with the other iPads? But what do you think? Is the new iPad 10th gen a solid refresh, or are there some better options out there? Let me know with a comment down below. We'll have to wait and see how this iPad actually performs when it's officially available, and hopefully that changes my mind. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos just like this one on tech news, reviews, and opinions, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.